And welcome to lower downtown Denver on a perfect afternoon for baseball and to celebrate Dad. Giants and Rockies. And yesterday the Rockies won 5-1. They're trying to do something they've never done before, and that is sweep the Giants in a 4-game set. They're 9-1 so far against San Francisco this year. They've won 8 consecutive games against the Giants. Tyler Chatwood makes his way to the mound, and the first man he'll face is Denard Span. Bruce Bochy keeps shuffling his lineup around. Here's the Southwest batting order for the veteran and future Hall of Fame skipper. Joe Panik will bat second. Brandon Crawford is back in there. He'll play shortstop at bat third. Posey's behind the plate. Brandon Belt struggling this year. He'll be in the 5-hole. He has hit .292 lifetime against Chatwood. Austin Slater, he's the toughest out in the lineup of late. Aaron Hill, Gorkys Hernandez, Ty Block at Regis High School will pitch and bat ninth. Well, it's first time at home in a while for Chatty. Out on the road, as Spilly was telling us, he's been sensational.
The last couple, as he mentioned, he's 2-0 with a 1.35 ERA. And we know the numbers between the road and home split, but I like what Steve Foster said just a moment ago in that bite we had, that he's got a free mind and he's using that two-seam fastball to his advantage. He's throwing the slider more effectively this month. Chase percentage is up to 35% because of that fastball.
I also think what may help him today is that the Rockies didn't just get home and now it's your turn. He got to throw his bullpen at Coors Field.
That's a great point, and he's also going up against a team that he's had a tremendous amount of success against in the San Francisco Giants. He's 7-3 against them in his career with a 281. The last time he took an L against him was April of last year.
So here we go. Game time temperature in the upper 70s. It'll get warmer than that as the afternoon progresses. Denard Span at 264. Chatwood's ready. Tom Murphy's ready to receive him, and the first pitch is low, ball one. Span hitting slightly better against righties at 291. You'd expect that. He takes that inside 2-0. Span didn't start yesterday. He came off the bench as a pinch hitter, was 0 for 1.
Yeah, struck out against Jake McGee in the 9th inning to start that 9th inning off. Where's that?
That was not a called strike?
What? Oh,
wow.
Already, yeah, they're already on Adrian Johnson. Like, come on.
You know what, usually that's there. Usually you talk about the 3-0 count, first hitter of the game, and that's on the inside. It's all over the inside corner. I find it always frustrating because you teach pitchers to throw down in the zone and hit edges, and then when you don't get rewarded for it, it's tough. Well, leadoff walk as Bud Black stares out. That'll bring up another lefty. There's 3 in a row. Span, Panik, and Crawford.
And this is the guy in this series, 7 for 14, that's just hit the ball all over the ballpark.
Now it's not just been against the Rockies. Over his last 12 games, he's hitting .404, hits in 11 of those 12. Panik 13 for his last 25. And Tom Murphy stands up and walks out a few feet, says something to Chatwood. 5 of the first 6 out of the strike zone. Panik overall in the month of June is hitting .409. Only Daniel Murphy has a higher June batting average. Guy the Rockies will see in a couple of days. Paul Goldschmidt's hitting .400. And there's a strike. Everywhere in Major League Baseball over the weekend, they're wearing those light blue caps and the uniforms with the light blue. I love it, man. I love they do the pink on Mother's Day weekend, and it really looks sharp.
It does. The color scheme. They're using a special baseball today with the same color.
With blue seams.
With blue seams.
Wonder if that'll be weird for a hitter.
No, because I think the seams are happening so fast. And there's a picture of the baseball.
1-2 runner going, swung on and missed. Throw to second, is going to go into center field. And Span will not move up, as Charlie, as all good center fielders should do, is moving. And once the throw's in motion, you always assume.
Yeah, but watch what Trevor does where he pounds the glove. Watch this. So he'll pound the glove like he caught it. So as a guy that's going into second base, you can't see the ball necessarily go high. You hear that thud, so you automatically assume that the ball was caught. And by the time he recognizes, you said, Charlie's backing up, he stays there.
Subtle little things. Smart baseball, savvy baseball. 1 out, runner in scoring position for Brandon Crawford. Crawford comes in at 249, which is below his standards. He takes inside. Crawford just 6 for his last 36 at the plate. He did hit a big 3-run home run in that rally on Thursday where the Rockies had the 9-1 lead, got caught in the top of the 9th, and then won it in the bottom of the 9th, 10-9. 2-0. I mentioned, Huey, the fact that he threw a bullpen here, and if you're at home wondering, well, why is that a big deal? It has to do with release point. Whereas, let's say his last bullpen came in Pittsburgh, the last city the Rockies were in, and then he started game 1 or game 2 in Denver. He has to make the adjustment actually during the game. And
he'll do it both with his fastball, but it's more importantly with his off-speed pitches.
That's going to get Span to third. He went back to the bag. Which, that was surprising by Span, not knowing exactly where Story was.
That's just a base running mistake, but it is a gift for the Rockies because this should have been an RBI single, or at least an opportunity for Phil Nevin to wave Span around, but his first step was back, and then he can only trot over to third.
And I understand he's in a blind spot, Story, behind him in defense of Span.
But prior to the pitch coming, you always are glancing around. You check where the outfielders are, but you also check in this day and age where the infielders are with all the shifts going on.
The last guy you typically want to see is Buster Posey. However, Buster Posey doesn't like seeing Tyler Chatwood. Just 3 for 21 against him in his career. Takes a ball there, which is his worst average of any pitcher he has faced at least 20 times. So a jam right out of the gate for Chatwood, 1st and 3rd. You always want a pitcher to have quick success, but maybe even more so for Chatwood given his problems at home. It's 2-0.
14 pitches, 9 balls, just 5 strikes.
And that, more often than not, is where the issues have emanated from for Tyler at home. It's not that, you know, teams are raking against him at Coors Field. It's more that he's behind in counts and walks guys, and now he's 3-0 on Posey.
In his 7 losses, he's walked 23 guys, has a 7.90 ERA. In his 6 wins, a 1.47 ERA, he's only walked 14.
And Posey's going to fire the bat here 3-0 if it's in the zone. 3-1, didn't fire, but you know he had the green light. Crawford takes off, and it's a shot. Did they get the out? Safe there. The run will count. Wow.
I think he might be out of second.
I thought Story was on the bag with the naked eye before the slide by Crawford. That's a great play by DJ LeMahieu.
And with the freshly watered infield, sometimes your feet will slip out from underneath you as you go to make the play. And DJ's did momentarily. He's out.
He's out.
Because he didn't slide going in to the bag.
There's no question.
So, see DJ's feet slide out on the Subaru Supermo? He's out.
It's not even close.
No, but Brandon Crawford, it helped because he didn't slide into second. Oh, no doubt about it. That's a double play.
And that's a nice break for the Rockies. A great play by LeMahieu. And they're going to get off the field for Chatwood without giving up a run. in what was looking to be a sticky first frame.
Well, Phil Nevin, the third base coach, has walked off the field already because he's seen the replay up on the big board here at the stadium. So he's already back in the dugout knowing what the result's going to be.
Crowd's now reacting. They're seeing it.
It'll be the 82nd double play the Rockies have turned this year. Yeah, the crowd's seen it. They're already making the call. Of course, the umpires have to wait. And the Rockies are starting to come off the field now. You can go ahead and mark it in your book, folks. High fives. What a play by DJ.
And here comes the official call. 4-6-3 inning-ending double play. Get to the bat rack. The Rockies will face Ty Blach when we return. To start that inning-ending 4-6-3 double play. Welcome back to the lineup. Hopefully Charlie hasn't forgotten how to hit. I doubt it. Southwest batting order will have Chuck Nasty at top. A rare day off yesterday. His buddies picked him up. DJ will bat second. Then it's Arenado, Reynolds, Desmond, Cargo in the sixth spot. Trevor Story, Tom Murphy, and Tyler Chatwood to face Regis High School's Ty Blach. After Regis, he went on to a terrific career in Creighton in Nebraska. And the first pitch from Blach is in there for a strike. He has very solid numbers. Last two outings, though, have been rough for Ty.
Giving up a lot of earned runs in those two starts.
Rockies have seen him because he's worked a couple times out of the bullpen earlier in the year for the Giants, but he was the one who replaced Mad Bum in the rotation. So this is his 11th start, as you see his arsenal.
The fifth game, excuse me, that the Rockies have seen him. Made his major league debut here at Coors Field. It's pretty cool too. You think about this, that you're having two Denver natives make starts on back-to-back days. Yesterday, of course, Kyle Freeland, and today Ty Blach and his dad Randy Blach's in attendance, and his mom Karen, and about 100 of their closest friends.
Yeah, isn't that neat?
There's Randy in the hat, Karen to his left, if we're looking at it in the right. The white shirt.
And you go way back with them because Kyle played with him.
Our boys played together when they were 9 and 10 years old. And Randy was one of the coaches.
And you know the great thing about it, you and I have talked about this, that back when he was little, he was good little player, but you didn't go, man, that kid is off the charts. What a future!
Gonna be a definite major leaguer.
Yeah.
And that's what's this game. So many times you see kids and you go, oh no, he's not gonna make it, or he is gonna make it, based on what they're doing when they're 10 or 11. But they just continue to progress and love the game, and that's what Ty did.
I know a lot of people were hoping that it would be Kyle Freeland against Ty Blach today. 2-year difference, as Ty is 26, a couple years older. And strikeout of Blackmon to begin for Block. And one other footnote on that: Freeland and Block don't know each other. They never met.
And went different directions even after high school with Evansville and then Creighton. Ty was drafted in the 5th round, 178th overall by the Giants in 2012.
So with one out, DJ LeMahieu steps in. DJ's 1 for 2 against Block, and he takes strike 1.
The defensive play to come through again, and this is why he'll win multiple Gold Gloves.
And the reason he was heading in that direction, it's his bag.
Yeah,
the coverage
with Crawford taking off.
DJ will have to battle out of an 0-2 hole. You'll find this about Block. He throws a lot of strikes. He does not walk guys, but righties are hitting .283 against him this year. He's given up 68 hits in 64 and a third innings. He also, I know he got the strikeout at Charlie. He doesn't strike out many, less than 4 per 9 innings.
So his whip is 121. He has to be effective and keep the ball down. He doesn't throw many pitches per inning either.
Ball's in play a lot, and if the ball's in play a lot at Coors Field, it usually benefits the offense. 1-2. DJ fouls this one off on the right side.
As you mentioned, Drew, his fastball is 90 miles an hour, below the major league average. Changeup, curveball, slider.
I was watching that lefty last night, Huey from Florida State,
yes,
in the LSU game. If you're lefty with good stuff, you don't have to be overpowering with the fastball. And Block throws out LeMahieu. 2 gone, and Nolan will come up. It's another sellout at Coors Field. Yesterday, enormous crowd. Friday, 46,000+. There was 40,000+ on Thursday. And a whole lot of dads treating their kids to an afternoon of baseball. Hopefully it started out a little catch this morning. A Rockies victory and then a barbecue later. That's perfect.
That's a great
perfect
day.
Father's Day.
You enjoyed some baseball the last couple days up at Steamboat with your youngest.
The
Gabe.
best. Yeah, we had a blast. They're still playing. Up in,
you have one
Hayden.
in Steamboat or Hayden. You have another one that's where's
Omaha.
Omaha.
Yep.
Because College World Series tournaments are fun.
This ball's lined to right. It's going to be fair. It's going to be extra bases into that corner. Rockies Hernandez has to play chase. And with 2 outs. Oh, now Nolan's going to pick it up. He hesitates. He says, you know what? I want a triple. You got a triple. That's his 3rd 3-bagger of the year.
He just lulled them into that because I thought he was going to shut it down. At second base, Subaru Supermo inside out swing for Nolan. And he has been an absolute wrecking ball in the 1st inning with extra base hits this year. That's his 12th. Takes the lead away from Conforto, who had 11. Charlie Blackmon has 9.
And here's Mark Reynolds trying to produce a Rockies specialty, the 2-out RBI. With 2 outs this year and runners in scoring position, the Rockies are hitting a robust .333, which from a historical standpoint would be by far, if they were able to maintain anywhere close to that for the season, by far an all-time record.
There's all the extra base hits in the 1st inning that I referenced a moment ago.
It's a called strike, 1 and 2 on Reynolds. Reynolds hitting .351 against the Giants this year. fastball at 91 is up.
See, just in this at bat to Mark, that Ty's not afraid to throw a fastball in. It's not overpowering, but he knows he has to use it to help with his changeup.
And a good eye, which we know Mark Reynolds has. Mark has walked a bunch this year. His 31 walks leads the team. 2 in front of Carr goes 29. 3-2 with 2 outs. Arenado is at third, outside, and that will allow Ian Desmond to hit here in the first.
Mark working that walk after falling behind 1-2. Then you're going to get Ian Desmond. 5 multi-hit games in his last 11, hitting .381.
He's 5 for 11 in the series with 5 ribbies. This is where facing this lineup is a headache. You keep looking in the on-deck circle and you say, really, that guy's next? Wait a second, who's after that?
Where can I take a breather?
Yeah, there is no breather. And Desmond hits it on the ground to third, and San Francisco works out of it. Arenado and Reynolds left aboard. We'll go to the second. No score on Father's Day at Coors Field.
Change the color of the stitches from red to blue in honor of Father's Day and for prostate cancer awareness. Our own Jack Corrigan, a prostate cancer fighter, reflects on the importance of this Father's Day.
Chad Bettis and I were talking the other day. We don't like to say survivor. We say fighters, you know, because it's just going to keep fighting. And the fight now for both of us is raising the awareness. I mean, because if you get your checkups, if you do the little things like Chad did, like I was fortunate to do with my doctors, you can stay ahead of it and you can be around to be a dad or a granddad for a long time.
Good words of advice from Jack Corrigan, obviously Chad Bettis with his own survival fighter story on a great Father's Day. Brandon Bell with the first pitch base hit, so it kind of ruined my segue up to you guys. But obviously a really important day for baseball and for Chad and Jack. Guys?
Yeah, it's a great day and a great reminder to get your checkups and to stay on top of all potential health-related items. And the bases with the blue hue as well. Austin Slater, man, oh man, every time you look up, this guy's throwing out a base hit.
Has a 7-game hit streak. 519 during the streak. 14 for 27 for Slater.
6 for 12 in the series. He takes low.
There was a piece in one of the papers in San Francisco today kind of talking about where the Giants are and how Slater might get an opportunity here throughout the rest of the year to play a lot of outfield, talking about bringing some other younger guys up to see what they have from AAA.
They have some interesting things going on, and really unusual things for the Giants, who captured, as everybody knows, 3 world championships in the last 7 years. And that's low, 2-0. They are right now way out of it, and they're not going to get Bumgarner back, even though he threw a simulated game yesterday, till after the All-Star break. It's probably going to be too little too late. Johnny Cueto can opt out at the end of the year. Do they become sellers, something again they haven't been in a long time?
It's possible, but some of the guys that you're looking to sell, and Cueto, for him, I'm not sure he opts out, because I think he's still due for 4 years at maybe $80 million. So
he may not. You're
right. Right. So does he opt out at that price? I don't know. But Brandon Belt's due $14 to $16 million next year. You look at right field, Hunter Pence. So they got a few guys that they could possibly move, but they got big contracts. Then, how much do they eat?
Pence not in the lineup today. 3-1 on Slater. Brandon Belt functional speed at first. Not a flyer. This is a double play ball. There's one and there's 2. That's the wonderful thing about a guy who can produce a lot of ground balls. Even if he produces traffic, with one pitch he can get out of it. We witnessed that in the first inning with Posey at the plate. And now after the base hit by Belt, Slater, who was behind or ahead in the count, hits into the 6-4-3.
Tyler Chatwood is 3rd in the National League in ground ball percentage. Kyle Freeland's 1st, and it helps when you get 11 ground balls like he had yesterday. But Tyler's at 58.4% ground ball percentage. And so you look at the Major League average for ground ball percentage, it's just 45.1%.
Usually you start looking at a guy who's above 50% as someone that produces a pretty good number of ground balls. 0-2 on Aaron Hill. He's been scuffling. 0 for his last 11, and overall this year hitting just $150. This is one of my favorite competitors to watch over the years with the Rockies. Now, he can be his own worst enemy because he is so fiery. But Chatty gets out there with the proverbial chip on his shoulder every 5th day. And I think you can't have enough guys that have his kind of demeanor.
No, you enjoy playing with a fiery person. You enjoy watching the emotion. We saw it yesterday with Kyle. Kyle made a couple pitches where he got fired up. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. You can't do it for 110 pitches. Every pitch can't be that way.
That's a good curveball.
But get out of big situations, it pumps you up.
Very popular in that Rockies clubhouse is Tyler Chatwood. 2-2, nobody on, 2 outs on Hill, and he pulls it to 3rd. Generally, that's not a good thing for the opposition. Arenado with a dart across the diamond. We'll go to the bottom of the 2nd on a special day at Coors Field. No score. Hollywood Sports is brought to you by the 2017 Toyota Tundra in your hometown Toyota stores. By Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo customers get your 2-for-1 Rockies club level tickets by visiting wellsfargo.com/Rockies. And by Southwest Airlines. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Father's Day at Coors Field. Cargo will lead it off in the bottom of the second, and he lines the ball to deep right field, and it is going to be caught out there by Gorkys Hernandez on the edge of the track. Got it just off the barrel a little bit, but last couple days we've seen better swings from Carlos.
And it's nice to see. You figure once you get that blue base hit that he had to break the 0 for 27, you knew that maybe the worm had turned for Cargo.
That'll bring up Trevor Story. That gentleman in the middle, next to the beautiful lady
here
on the right, that's Jenny's folks. And Steve is always an interested onlooker. He's a huge Rockies fan, naturally. He's a bigger fan of his daughter Jenny, as he should be. And
soon to be grandpa. And
he's right, soon to be grandpa. But Steve coached Ty Block at Regis High School. So today's a particularly interesting day for Steve. He's the kind of guy, and I'm not just saying this because we know him well and he's Jenny's dad. He's the kind of guy that I would have loved to have played for.
Because he wears that smile all the time. He enjoys the game of baseball. He enjoys teaching and talking baseball. And he went out in style, didn't he? Winning a state championship his last year.
And he won. He's got a little Dave Logan in him. He's won state championships at multiple schools. Regis, also Smoky Hill. And Story out in front. That's 2 outs. Second strikeout for Block. That'll bring up Tom Murphy. Fans, join in on the conversation. Do it today. Do it every day. We enjoy seeing your texts, your tweets. Use Twitter or Instagram. So I guess you can't text us. So I'm saying use our Twitter account or Instagram account. But you have to include the hashtag Toyota Talk.
See some pictures of father, son, maybe playing catch, ball games.
Your son, your oldest, you have 2, obviously, 2 sons and a daughter. Kyle, we haven't talked a lot about this, but I'm really proud of him because, you know, I love him. I've known him a long time. And I know you're thrilled with what he's doing after a great career playing hockey at UConn. He has gotten into the broadcasting business.
He's calling games for the Frederick Keys, the Baltimore Orioles, High A affiliate in the Carolina League. He's flying home tonight because their All-Star game, their All-Star break starts tomorrow. So
he and Cody, because Cody went to visit him after spending time with you in Chicago and Pittsburgh. And look what Kyle posted earlier. Look at those munchkins. I don't recognize any of them.
My daughter Lindsay, my youngest Cody, and then Kyle on the left, and of course my lovely wife Wendy. So we'll have the whole family back together tomorrow.
That's
celebrate
awesome.
Father's Day.
That is great. 3-1 on Tommy Murphy. And you know, the heavy influence of what, you know, sometimes what dads do, what mom does. Cody is going to stay in sports basically because he's going to help eventually rehab athletes. He's getting into PT.
Yeah, and proud of that. He had some injuries, knee injuries, but Jason McWilliams, big influence for him. Jason worked at Stedman Hawkins under Tom Noonan, the Rockies doctor.
He got to see Tom and Jason way too much.
Yeah, but because of it, you know, out of adversity, you learn what you want to do in life, and that's he's going to go to physical therapy school, and then his goal is to help young athletes get back on the playing field.
He's going to do great at that. 3-2 on Murph, and this ball is launched a long way, but it's foul. Second start for Murphy since missing the first 2.5 months of the season. That broken forearm, and it wasn't even diagnosed until almost the next day. It was a bat that hit him on a follow-through swing in spring training. Block works a 1-2-3 second inning, including a couple of strikeouts. We move on to the third. Great Father's Day, 20th and Blake. Here's our CenturyLink high-speed challenge question. Go to @sports_RM to cast your vote. In the Toyota postgame show, we will show you those results. This is a terrific and apropos question of the following. Who was your favorite father-son combo to play in Major League Baseball? There've been a lot of them. We had to narrow it down. Bobby and Barry Bonds, they were pretty good. Ken Griffey Jr. and Ken Griffey Sr., they two were pretty good. Two of my favorites, E.Y. Sr. and E.Y. Jr. And E.Y. Jr.'s back up with the Angels. That's great to see. And of course, Felipe had Felipe and his two brothers played in the big leagues, and Felipe's son, Moises, was a tremendous player. So those are your four choices. There's a great article on Eric Young Jr. and Eric Young Sr.'s relationship. And folks, I cannot recall where I read it, but if you go to my Twitter account, I retweeted it, I think last night, and it is a real worthy read. Nolan on the move, safe. It'll be a bunt single for Gorkys Hernandez. Interesting, Chatty gave way to Arenado. We can't hear on the field, so maybe Nolan's saying, I got it. That's a great bunt by Hernandez.
Gorkys 8 for his last 15. But this was a play. I think Nolan had the best option and the best view to be able to come over and get it. Barehanded, tails at the last moment and goes back in towards the runner. Wouldn't have mattered anyway.
There's a strike on Ty Block, who's a pitching coach's nightmare because he throws lefty and he hits righty, and you're saying, Goodman, what are you talking about this time? It's because you're now exposing your pitching arm, if a pitch were to get away, to getting hit, and that's why
Randy Johnson was also that way.
Yeah, and pitching coaches don't like it because guess what? Most pitchers ain't going to hit anyhow, so you might as well hit on the side of the plate where you're not exposing the pitcher's arm.
But think about what you did growing up. You would see it more with a right-handed pitcher that went up than left-handed because then his right arm would be exposed to what's going on. But Ty wearing the elbow guard.
Murphy's going to have one play. Wasn't sure at first if he was going to give Hernandez a shot, so it is a good bunt by Block. And again, Chatty's going to deal with a runner in scoring position. He did in the first inning. Top of the order, Denard Span drew a walk on 5 pitches to begin the ball game. He would get as far as third. He had a stolen base. Crawford had a sharp single to center. He had to freeze for a moment to see it through, and would get as far as third. And then a terrific double play turned by the Rockies. 4-6-3 off the bat of Buster Posey ended that threat in the first. No score, top of 3, and Span eyeballs it, but it is a strike. Blocked by Murphy. He had a good job. He did a really good job blocking balls in his first start on Thursday. Number of pitches.
Talked to him afterward on Friday during batting practice. I said, welcome back. You saw about 300 pitches that night. Had a lot to block. You had that one that scooted away, but you were able to get Span at the plate to preserve that inning, keep it at a tie ball game. The Rockies eventually ended up winning on the walk-off. I said, are you sore? Where are you sore? No, he said, I'm not. I feel pretty good. But after just squatting for that many innings and that many pitches back there, that your legs would be a little fried the next day.
2-1 on Span. And he beats him to the spot with a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Or was that 98? That was 98. You kidding me?
And up on the Subaru strike zone. That's the ability of Tyler. He'll work at 93 to 95 with some sink, but then when he throws a four-seamer, he'll get it up there. And then the hard sliders.
I want to point something out to you in a sec after this pitch. 2-2. 3-2. The Rockies rotation, current rotation, which features Freeland, Hoffman, Chatwood, obviously, Marquez, and Sensatella. 4 of the 5, Freeland being the one who has it, have hit at least 98 with their fastball this year. John Gray, we know, hits 98. That's crazy, isn't it?
To have that many hard throwers at one time in a rotation.
And that's a walk. So Span walks for the 2nd time in the game, and now you do have an opportunity to turn 2. Joe Panik struck out in his first at bat.
Well, and with all those guys that are throwing hard, they're also winning. The Rockies rookies, there's 26. They're 26-9. All those guys, all the rookies. The San Francisco, so 26-9 and 42 starts. The San Francisco Giants as a team have 26 wins in 70 games.
Yeah, don't remind them. Here's Panik. Struck out, as I said, his first time up, which is unusual. 4th toughest guy to strike out in baseball. He takes inside. Because of the double plays, the pitch count is not heavy yet, but this trend's got to change for Chatwood. 20 pitches in the zone, 20 out of the zone.
But it makes it hard at times for hitters when a guy scatters his pitches and throwing more, more balls and strikes, or right at 50-50, because you can never then guess pitches. You just have to react. So it does make it more challenging for a hitter. It's not something that a pitcher wants to do on a regular basis. But hitting wise, you don't get into a rhythm.
You also don't get borderline pitches. 2-1. Adrian Johnson calling that pitch a ball. May have caught the corner. And this is not hit hard enough to do anything but run to the bag if you're Mark Reynolds. 2 outs. 2nd and 3rd, and Brandon Crawford will approach. A note from Elias. More on what Jeff was alluding to. The Rockies are the first team, check this out, in 80 years to have 2 rookie pitchers with at least 8 wins in the team's first 75 games. Kyle Freeland and Antonio Sensatella. Lou Fett, I believe that's how it was pronounced. We tried to chase his pronunciation down. They didn't give it out back in the 30s. And Jim Turner on the 37 Boston Braves. Here's the difference. That year, Fett made 35 starts. This was before bullpens were really prominent. This ball's well hit left center field. Charlie on the move is going to make the catch. 35 starts for Fett. He finished 33 complete games. So he was going to get a decision every time out. It underscores how impressive Sensatella and Freeland have been for the 2017 Rockies. 7 runs or more, which they've been doing quite a bit of, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day between 4 and 6 and get your Rockies taco special at Mas at Taco Bell. Tyler Chatwood to lead it off against Ty Block. He's hitting a little over 200 this year. Good average for a major league pitcher, and he takes strike 1. Chatty's due for an extra base hit, right?
He had a couple in one game. Was it 2 starts ago?
He's got 1 double this year.
Oh, he had 2 hits. That's what he had, a double and a single in the game.
And he pops this one up to shallow left field. Backpedaling is Crawford. 1 out. That's 5 in a row set down by Block, and now it's round 2 for the Rockies against the 26-year-old left-hander.
Block's kept the Rockies off balance today. Charlie is not off balance with that average. 29.
Check this out. Dougie did a little research on this. Highest batting average since 2000, 21st century. That's what we'll call it. All right, Huey? In the National League since 2000, Blackman has hit 329. Well, he's hitting 329. That's this year. Juan Pierre hit 327 in 01. Andrew McCutchen, I think that was his MVP year, wasn't it? 2012.
Yes.
And Charlie last year wasn't far off of that.
I think Kemp in 2011, I think he finished 2nd that year in MVP.
To Ryan Braun,
Yeah.
a very close vote. And the designation of, that their center fielders is important too, because of all the running around they do. There's a lot of wear and tear to playing center field, similar to when we talk about how great Buster Posey's been. To hit for the kind of average that Posey has being a catcher. Mike Piazza, special.
Pudge Rodriguez.
Pudge Rodriguez, your old teammate. 2-1 on Charlie with 1 out. And that's a strike. Subaru strike zone right at the knees. Good pitch. Rockies with a win can move to 20 games north of 500.
Well, they have to with the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks.
Ridiculous. I'm looking up at the Diamondbacks today. They jumped out to a quick 3-0 lead in the first, but the Phillies actually have come back to take a 5-3 lead. Go Phils. Come on, fighting Phils, right? Arizona will be here Tuesday. And this is a bouncing ball to Belt.
Fans Rockies baseball is always live with the MLB.com and Bat mobile app. Stay connected all season with video highlights, stats, news, and much more.
The Dodgers are up on Cincinnati 8-5 in the 7th inning. At this pace, Dougie, you're all about pace. I think all 3 teams are on pace to win like 100 games.
Dodgers, after this game, will go home tomorrow and play the Mets. Arizona will fly here and they'll have an off day.
And the Mets have been a mess, injury-wise and performance-wise. Fly ball to center field. That's 7 in a row. Now retired by Block. Subaru. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. By Papa John's. Use promo code ROCKSWIN for 50% off at papajohns.com the next day. By StubHub. Looking for great seats? Head to StubHub, the official ticket marketplace of the Colorado Rockies. And by Coors Light, whatever your mountain, climb on. Big time sunscreen day at Coors Field with Jeff Hewson and Ryan Spilborghs and our entire Root Sports crew. I'm Drew Goodman. Buster Posey in the 4th inning takes a breaking ball for ball 1. Tyler Chatwood has dealt with traffic in each inning, but because of a couple of double plays, he's averaged only 15 pitches an inning. That's good. Fouled off by Posey. It's 1-1. Buster hit into a 4-6-3 double play his first time up. Just to finish the thought on how well the Rockies, the Dodgers, the Diamondbacks have played, and today is game number 72 for Colorado. This is the 1-1. Again, a similar foul ball. He's right on it. 1-2. A winning percentage that produces 100 wins.
Okay.
Is .617. So if you're at .617 for the whole year, you'll go 162. The Rockies are at .634.
Second best win percentage in all of baseball.
Arizona's .623. The Dodgers are .623. So the pace is. Where's that?
Where's that? And was it a strike?
Did he swing?
Yeah, right.
Tyler turns his back on Adrian Johnson. It was a smidgen off the plate, so good call by Adrian Johnson on the Subaru strike zone. But again, you're talking about teams on pace for well above 100 victories.
So 634 winning percentage, and then the other two are at 623.
It reminds me when all of us were in Pittsburgh a few days ago, and we were talking about when the
St.
Pirates
Louis
won 98 games in 2015, and they didn't win the division.
And they were just in that one-game playoff.
And they lost to the Cubs, who won 97 games and finished 3rd. That's at least what we're looking at right now. Chatty does not want to show up Adrian Johnson. He's frustrated, but those pitches are slightly outside. And you got a guy at the plate who's probably going to get the benefit of the doubt.
Some credentials.
Yeah, of any close pitch. But again, those are good fair calls by the home plate umpire Adrian Johnson. 3-2. And that is lined to the left field corner. Man, can he hit.
Immediately after that, Tyler looked in and started yelling.
Yeah, and now Johnson took his mask off, which is usually an indication of that's enough.
Slider on the Subaru Supermo, and then stayed up. Didn't have much bite to it.
Yeah, it didn't do much. That becomes like a BP fastball, and there's Chatty. And Adrian Johnson barking back. Brandon Belt had a single to snap an 0 for 17 his first time up. He pounds that one into the ground foul.
He's been just 2 for his last 29 in his last 8 games for Brandon Belt. That's why he got a day off yesterday. And Bochy said it was just a mental break. Foul ball.
That hit his bat. 2 strikes. Chatty has 1 strikeout in the game. He has struck out 69 and 84 in a third. He does have the ability to get the strikeout. And this would be a place with an 0-2 count you'd love to produce one. Belt pinch hit yesterday, and I thought maybe Freeland's best pitch of the day, a 3-2 fastball up and in at 93, beat him. And he got a strikeout.
Good call, Drew. He needed that one. Excellent location on the Subaru strike zone. Takes a little bit off after coming inside with the fastball. This is a curveball. That had some bite to it. Chatty has a good one. Been throwing it more often. Guys are hitting .080 against his curveball.
One of the new metrics that I know Steve Foster pays close attention to, and Darren Holmes, his spin rate. And Chatty gets a ton of spin rate on that curveball. Slowly hit the third. Nolan, that's out of the baseline. And the call was made by Gabe Morales out at third. What a smart play once again by Nolan.
Field awareness. We talk about court awareness. Field awareness for Nolan is off the charts. So he comes and gets it. Wait, oh, I know I can get this guy, and he goes out too far. He's already being called out of the baseline by Gabe Morales. Still, Buster Posey never even gets to the bag. You have to wait as a runner to see where that throw goes, and Buster got over anxious, and there'll be a 5 unassisted on the put out, take a guy out of scoring position, and 2 outs.
Huge play, huge play. Now Austin Slater, who hit into a 6-4-3 double plays at the plate. We always, oh, excuse me, this is Aaron Hill now. Slater's at first after hitting the ball to third. We always talk about Nolan having, you know, the high baseball IQ. I almost don't like that term. It's only, I think sometimes it shorts guys, but we all know what we're talking about. Guys that are very cerebral inside the game. I mean, Nolan has a high IQ to begin with. Also, communication. You played on the dirt your whole life.
Yes.
Trevor Story probably is alerting him too.
Yeah, it's saying he's going. It helps when that runner takes off immediately as a third baseman where you're playing, because you can see him out of the corner of your eye as you're going to the baseball. And so for Nolan, he knew that he was running as he's going to catch that ball. And so you know that he doesn't have great speed, so I can catch it and then go back and tag him, or at least attempt to.
1 ball, 1 strike.
But some things aren't taught in this game, and that's not something that you can teach a player. It just comes from repetition, and it comes from playing a lot of games.
And that pitch misses. 2-1 on Hill. He hit a ground ball to third his first time up. And look at that. Those 3 pitches are all in the Subaru strike zone. And that, I would not be surprised if after this inning, if Chatwood, pitchers will do this, walks in and in a more eloquent way, less confrontational way, talks to Adrian Johnson. Hey, where am I missing? Now it's 3-1.
And for Tyler being a veteran pitcher, rookies usually don't do that. They don't have the confidence, nor should they probably do that to a major league veteran umpire.
This is popped up and probably will not be playable. Now it's drifted back 5 rows or so. 3-2. I know Hill hasn't hit 150 this year coming in, just 1 home run, but he's still a guy that you have to respect. He's a powerfully built guy. His days in Toronto and Arizona, he hit a fair number of home runs.
Almost has 12 years of major league service time. So you don't hang around that long without having some bat.
Yep. And that was always his #1 tool. Runner will be off, 3-2, and that's ball 4. So that is the 3rd walk for Chatwood. And that'll bring up Hernandez, who singled on a bunt his first time.
First 10,000 fans through the gates for the June 21st game against the Arizona Diamondbacks will receive a coupon for a Hebrew National Dollar hot dog. Expecting big crowds again for the Diamondback series. You need to come out and match up with 2 great teams.
They just took a run away from the Phillies. I don't get that. How can you take a run away?
You can't do that, can you?
Well, it was 5-3 last time we checked. Now it's 4-3.
Isn't it fun to already be scoreboard watching?
Yeah, but not when that happens.
Yeah.
You take a run away. Swung on a miss. Did he go? Yes, check it at first with Eric Cooper. He went around 0-2. There it is.
That was 5-3.
Maybe it was a late night for our good friends inside the scoreboard. Is that a 5 or a 4? Oh, it's a 4. Our bad. 2 strikes on Hernandez. Did he go that time? That's pretty close also. Rockies bullpen very thin today. The Rockies did make a move earlier today. Carlos Estevez is back up. Chad Qualls has back spasms, placed on the 10-day DL. But you need length out of Chatwood. And that 65th pitch just misses, 2-2. He's in a good place pitch-wise right now, again because of the double plays.
And he can still go out and give you 115 pitches. Well, that's good, but you don't want to keep piling these up where you get ahead and then don't finish them off.
You will get an extra day off next time through the rotation because of tomorrow being an off day. Two on, 2 outs, no score, top of 4. Rockies have been out hit 4-1. And a little comeback. Nicely done by Tyler Chatwood. So we'll go to the bottom of the 4th, see if the Rockies can figure out Ty Blach. And Chatwood is walking over to discuss things with Adrian Johnson.
Growing up, he always took me to the local elementary school and hit grounders all the time. And I remember we had this this bat with like it was some kind of contraption. You put it on, it was like a fan. So when you would swing, the fan blades made it harder to swing. And he would not let me go to bed at night without taking like 100 swings with this stupid bat. And I don't know if that's what got me to where I am, but I think it got me to know that I have to work to be to where I am.
Words of Mark Reynolds. Nolan has the Rockies only hit. It was a triple with 2 outs in the 1st, leading things off.
I remember that fan that they used to put on bats, and they used to have it on the on-deck circle a lot here.
In the, I want to say in the late 70s, curveball misses, late 70s, 80s, it was really popular. On one of the teams that I played on, we had one, and I liked it. Did you like it?
I did. I
What
don't know if
happened to it?
just went away. Just got rid of it.
You know, some guys, most guys will swing a heavy bat, a weighted bat. There's another base hit for Nolan. He's doing the right thing. He's taking
the other way.
The other way.
Yeah, and that's
you try to pull block, it's playing into his hand.
And that's why Nolan did both swings have just been that way. Takes the pitch away on the Subaru Supermo. Doesn't try to overpower, just takes what block gives him. Because if he tries to pull that, it's a rollover or maybe an easy pop-up. You got to look the other way.
Just the third base runner for the Rockies, and the first time they've had the leadoff guy on. Here's Reynolds. Mark walked behind the triple in the first inning by Nolan. But, you know, most guys will swing some form of weighted bat in the on-deck circle. It makes the bat feel lighter. There are some guys that don't like to do that.
Because they feel like it takes away from the fast twitch muscles. That they like to swing something maybe a little lighter.
Studies have actually shown it is psychological.
Yes.
That the bat actually is lighter and now you're getting more bat speed.
Whatever works for you mentally.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line.
Especially in this game, right? This ball's fouled off, 1-2. You know, we have so many great quotes today from Rockies players about their relationship with their dads, and so frequently, and it's one of the marvelous things about the game of baseball in particular. Charlie and his dad, is a bond is formed at a very young age through this game. And not that it doesn't happen a lot of times with mom, but we see it so much in baseball with fathers and sons, fathers and daughters. And, you know, football is probably a little more difficult. You throw the football, hoops, you go shoot. That's a line shot toward the gap. It'll be cut off there by Hernandez. Arenado stops at second, and a good piece of hitting again by Reynolds, kind of following what Nolan did.
Yeah, go the other way with it. He saw what Nolan did, knew the opportunity, so he takes advantage of it as well. And Mark, maybe those 100 or 150 swings he had to take a night worked out, but you're right, because you can go out and play catch, you can go out and throw the wiffle ball. It's play ball weekend. I know you have a special relationship with your dad growing up in baseball and your boys, and you know, Jacob wants to be maybe a GM because he's been around the game for so long. Your two youngest are playing, Jacob's playing. This game gets in your blood and it never leaves you.
Never leaves you. And there's not a day, because you and I are obviously very close. We talk about this all the time. It's not a day that we're not in a big league dugout, and you played at this level for a long time, that you don't, you know, feel so privileged, so lucky to be able to work in the game of baseball. And our off days are spent at baseball diamonds.
Which is okay.
It's great. 0-1 on Ian Desmond. Great opportunity for the Rockies. First and second, nobody out in a scoreless game, bottom of 4. Double play ball. Desmond can run, but that was tailor-made. 6-4-3, and that'll take a 2-out knock as Cargo comes up. Block, kind of like Chatwood now, making a pitch when he needs to. For our Coors Light. Cold Hard Facts brought to you by Clean and Crisp Coors Light. This season with runners in scoring position, the Rockies are hitting .333 with 2 outs. The highest average ever over the course of a full season, .305 by the 2013 Cardinals, who won a National League pennant. That's how extraordinary this Rockies offense has been in clutch situations through 71 games. Cargo trying to raise that average a little bit. He hit the ball very hard his first time up.
Lined out to right field, Gorkys Hernandez. As I mentioned, lefties hitting just .211 again, or .221, excuse me, against Ty this year.
Cargo hammers it, but it's well fouled. The book of late, and books change, but the book of late on Cargo is to pitch him up in the zone. There's your 2-out risk stats. But the guys that can beat him up in the zone usually are 95 plus. That's not Ty Blach. We'll see how he goes about it with the count of 1-2. He also has a little curveball. Lefties have had a hard time against Blach, hitting just .221.
And no home runs in his 10 starts since moving into the rotation after the Mad Bum accident, which we all remember happened here back on April 20th on an off day.
And he spun one, he got cargo. So the Rockies had a promising inning, and it turned south in a hurry. 2 leadoff hits, scoreless to the 5th.
Colorado Rockies, and with the 38th selection of the 2015 MLB Draft, the Colorado Rockies select Tyler Nevin, a third baseman from Poway High School, Poway, California. The St. Louis Cardinals are on the clock. Well, it's really Poway High School in Poway, California, but I spill water on myself. Phil Nevin, Giants third base coach, obviously 12-year Major League vet. Really proud of watching his son, especially in the Rockies minor league organization. Tyler, by the way, is starting to swing the bat. He was dealing with some hamate issues. And this spring training, Phil and Tyler had an opportunity during a game. Tyler gets called up for the Rockies and Giants, Nevin watching. And he said he was overcome with emotions as he saw Tyler get a base hit in this spring training baseball game. It's always great to see your son. And I can only imagine what it feels like, having played 12 years in Major League Baseball, to see a child of yours follow the same dreams. Guys?
Yeah, it's amazing, Spilly. And, you know, you get a pass on not knowing that it's Poway because, you know, you're from South Dakota, so you wouldn't know cities' names in California necessarily. But, no, in all seriousness, even for a guy that played that long, to see your kid come along and have, you know, great success, pretty cool stuff. 3-2 on Ty Blach leading off.
And right now there are 43 players currently on the 40-man rosters whose dad have also played in the major leagues.
43.
43.
Wow.
On 40-man rosters.
Well, Ty Blach has the connection to Regis. Regis has had multiple players drafted, I think, each of the last 5 years. Actually, Caleb Sloan did not go in the draft this year. He was supposed to go pretty high. He's going to TCU. That is going to be a foul ball, fortunately. But there are 3 other. Well, I'll tell you about the 3 other guys from Regis in a moment. But Kyle Freeland, these are the current big leaguers from Colorado high schoolers. Kevin Gosman, of course, Grandview. Chase Headley, who's had a terrific career from Fountain Ford Carson. Mark Melanson with the Giants. Golden. Taylor Rogers up with the Twins. He's had a Chatfield. Greg Bird getting healthy again. And Regis has 3 guys currently in the minor leagues. Here's the 3-2, swung on a miss. So Chatwood took him a while, but he strikes out blocked. That's his third strikeout. Peter Bayer's a right-handed pitcher, 23-year-old, who's an A-ball with Tampa. Is 2-1 currently. Max George is in the Rockies organization. He was signed right out of high school. Turned down a scholarship to go to Oregon State. He's hitting .255. He's an all-star in the Sally League. 6 home runs. And Chris O'Dowd, Dan's son, has had now a long minor league career. He's in Double-A Birmingham in the White Sox organization. All products of Regis Jesuit out there in Parker. 1-0 on Span. He's walked twice. Got a pitcher's duel.
Yes, we do. Kind of figured that after all the runs and hits that have been scored in the last
Well, I think the
3 days.
pitchers yesterday, and you pitched to it a little bit, were aided by the fact that the wind was blowing in considerably.
And Matt Cain, to his credit, he pitched backwards yesterday. A lot of off-speed pitches when you thought it was fastball counts, and vice versa.
3-0 on Span. He has walked twice. Aaron Hill's also walked. 3 walks allowed by Chatwood. You saw at the end of last inning, as we thought would happen, Chatwood went over in a really quick conversation with Adrian Johnson. And the only thing that we could derive out of it is Tyler kind of tapped Adrian on the chest protector as if to say, hey, you know, I'm appreciating your hard work. What, you know, to try to get back somewhat in good graces, right?
Yeah, here it is. You go up there. Okay, where were those pitches? You thought, okay. And he might have been saying also, hey, sorry about yelling at you.
Yeah.
Okay, I did just the heat of the moment. Adrian's been around. He said, no problem, I get it.
3-2 on Span, and he loses him again. That's 3 times he's walked Span. So with 1 out, speed at first. Span had a stolen base in the first, and that'll bring up Joe Panic. Here's Matt Cain in the middle, and we're showing Matt not only because he threw the ball yesterday, but he crossed up Nick Hundley, and it ended up helping the Rockies produce a run. He thought they were going to. Nick had called for a breaking ball, and he threw a fastball, and it's so difficult for a catcher. And the ball ended up hitting Gabe Morales, and Gabe was okay, but he took a pretty good shot to the chest. Keith Duggar of the Rockies came out and looked at him, and the play was stopped for a few minutes, and Gabe continued on. But after the game, Matt said, hey, that was on me. I crossed up Nick, and I feel bad for Gabe, and I went over and talked to him. The point of my story is pitcher, catcher, home plate umpire, they work together.
And what a neat thing or professional thing for Matt Cain to do, to go over and say, I'm sorry about that. It was all my fault. But it was a big point in the game yesterday, because it was still a 1-1 game, and then the Rockies scored that 1 in the 5th to go up 2-1. We know what happened afterwards, but that was it for Matt. So Matt goes 5 innings, gives up 2 runs, just 1 earned on 83 pitches.
2-0's lifted foul by Panic, a strikeout and a ground ball to first. Chatty living on the edge a little bit with all the walks, 4 of them. 4 walks, 4 hits, 3 hits for the Rockies against Block. Top of 5, no score. Rockies trying for a 4-game sweep of the Giants.
They've won 8 straight against San Francisco now.
It's the longest winning streak the Rockies have ever had against San Francisco. And that's line toward Desmond. Got a good read. Now the transfer. The ball came out of the hand of Desmond, and quickly indicating emphatically that it was an out as Gabe Morales at third. 2 gone. And that'll bring up Brandon Crawford.
That ball was slicing towards the line to Desmond. He had to reach across his body to make that catch.
Where the ball was hit, that's not, you know, down the line you're going to see a little more twist on it, but that was left center, so it's kind of unusual to get that kind of slice, isn't it?
Yeah, it tells me Joe Panik really stayed inside, kept the hands inside on that, because then you'll get more slice when you do that.
Crawford a base hit and a fly ball to left center field. Hit the ball pretty well twice against Tyler Chatwood. 1-0 on Crawford. 84 RBIs each of the last 2 years, has led the Giants, and this year he leads them again with 29. Runner takes off, and that was not a foul ball. Off the glove of Murphy, so it's a second stolen base for Span. 1-1.
Third on the year, 37th for the Giants. Murph trying to come up so fast to get Span. This went off his glove. Crawford has his family on this road trip. Saw them after the game last night. We walked by the Giants, obviously their locker room, but also their family lounge, and he was out with his three. He's got a couple daughters and a son.
2-1, well hit to left field, going back near the corner. Desmond, and it goes out. A 2-run opposite field home run for Crawford. His second home run in the series, and the second time he's gone oppo. 6th home run this year. A guy that has consistently hurt the Rockies through the years.
This ball is up and away from him on the Subaru Supermo, and it just keeps going. I knew he hit it well, but watching Desmond go after this, you think, well, it could be in the corner, maybe off the wall, and it goes over the top of the high extension over the 347 mark.
And now Buster Posey takes ball 1. You know, you're living on the edge, not only when you walk, folks, but when you're behind in the count consistently. And Chatwood gets away with it more than most because his stuff's so good. This is deep to right, but foul.
And he usually finds a way to get runners on. They're hitting below 200 against him. But you're right, and with the ball up too for Crawford. This year he's hitting over 300. You know, against lefties, righties, it's down, just 231. But when he's ahead in the count, it makes you feel more confident.
1-1 on Posey, 1-2. Well, for Chatwood, he's now given up 13 home runs this year, which is really a high number for a guy that gets so many ground balls. Last year, where he was brilliant out on the road and struggled at Coors Field, the whole year he gave up only 15 home runs, and now Chatwood has a pitch get away at 96, and he hits Posey.
This get, ooh, right off the hand on the Subaru Supermo.
Now there's
part of the wrist.
It's only a 2-0 game, but now there's another issue. Steve Foster's going to go out. You're talking about 93 pitches, and the Rockies have a thinner bullpen today, certainly on the plus side.
And it was thin even yesterday and the day before, in so much that you had German Marquez out there. He hadn't thrown his side work because in case they needed a long guy, he was going to be available. But now he's going to start on Tuesday, so he's probably out of the mix. I know he's still out there in the bullpen.
Way inside. 1-0 on Belt. So with the hit batter, that's 5 freebies handed out, 4 walks.
And he hasn't thrown a first pitch strike this inning.
It's 2-0 on Bell. 1 for 2. He struck him out in the 4th. He had a base hit in the 2nd.
Thank you, Brandon Bell.
That was ball 3.
You're locked in. You wouldn't swing at that pitch 2-0. When you're scuffling, that's the result.
1 for his last 18. 2-2. You know, Belt's hitting 220 coming in. 275 last year. 272 in his career. Two runner going, swung on and missed. So Chatwood gives up the 2-run home run to Brandon Crawford. First runs of the game. Second inning, 2-0 San Francisco, and it's time, Spilly.
Yeah.
It's time.
Yeah, it is time. It's rally seat time. Section 321, last row, seat 3. Now, seat 3, there was someone sitting here. Carol was sitting here, and today, instead of sitting on Ken, who thank goodness isn't here, I gave away a tumbler. So Carol is down there. Hi, Carol. She loves the Rockies. She's a big fan, and obviously we got some other fans here. So I come bearing gifts today.
Very nice of you to bring gifts today.
Billy, who's that beautiful little girl next to you?
This is Brooklyn.
That's a great name. I like that.
All right, we need a rally out of you, Brooklyn, all right? Rockies are down 2. We need some runs. Rally seat time. Let's go.
It's time.
Brooklyn's a little stoic right now. She's not happy with that last half inning, understandably. And she wanted to know why Spilly didn't have gifts for her.
It's a special sippy
A new kind of sippy cup. This is slowly hit to third, and Story beat it. You know, this is something Buddy Black was talking about a few days ago. When Story scored, Huey, from first in 9 point whatever, one of the fastest.
1.8, 9.18.
One of the fastest trips from first to home in the StatCast era, right? And he said, you know, I imagine he's going to get some infield hits also because he can run. Here's one for him.
He legs it out, but the difference is Nolan would have barehanded that, but Aaron Hill didn't. And that extra quarter of a second to go from glove to hand allowed Trevor to beat it out.
Now Tommy Murphy. Murphy had a good swing there, 0-1. Murphy struck out his first time. For his first 4 since returning from that broken forearm. And that's called a swing by Eric Cooper. Pitches Murphy's gone. That'll bring up Chatwood. So Chatwood, even though he's in the mid-90s and has scuffled a little bit, he's going to hit here with 1 out.
Coca-Cola value packs are back for the 2017 season, including June 22nd against the Diamondbacks. 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 Cokes, and more for either $59 or $79, depending on seat location. Tyler at 98 pitches. You see Ty Block just at 66. He was squaring around to bunt. Doesn't necessarily mean that's what he's going to do. He could pull it back. The Rockies hitters are probably as proficient as anybody in the league at doing that.
So Chatwood with 98 pitches is going to continue on. That's a good-looking bunt.
It's a 6th sacrifice bunt this season for Tyler.
Unless, of course, Buddy's going to pull him, but didn't want to, in the 5th inning, use one of his 4 bench players. That's a possibility also.
Well, and to hang on to his only right-handed bat in Pat Valaika.
Carlos Estevez has gotten up. Rockies will win this game. Thank you, Spilly. Outside, Charlie a strikeout and a roller to first.
And the 3rd time through the order now for these guys to take a look at Ty.
Outside, 2-0. Blackmon, the major league leader in producing 2-out RBIs. 27 of his 54, or half, have come with 2 outs. Great speed at second in Story.
Springer having a great year with Houston, just like a lot of those guys down there. Right on that one for Charlie.
2-2. Ty Block out on the road. It's a 6+ ERA. Opposition's been hitting .325 against him on the road, but he has been tough today so far.
And a .926 OPS. ERA half that at AT&T Park.
You would think, other than his first major league start, this is as geeked up as he has been for a start coming back to Coors Field.
And he's coming off a couple starts where he wasn't good. 0-2 with .926. Again, his mom and dad, Randy and Karen.
Two-out Story at second. Charlie will ask for and be granted time. June's been great, but the month of April and the month of May, great as well.
Tied through a slider to strike out Carlos Gonzalez. Big sweeping slider. Does he go? Does he go now back to it with Charlie?
He did. That was a fastball. Had some cut on it. 3-2. Charlie leads the big leagues in triples. He had a triple Thursday. He had a triple Friday. Yesterday he rested for just the second time this year.
Tapia threw out 2 hits and a run scored.
Tapia's done a marvelous job.
He has. Nice little spark.
3-2. And Charlie pulls it to first, and Belt will run to the bag, and the Rockies do not score in the 5th. Story left at second. 2-run home run by Brandon Crawford, the difference in the game. 2 hands on Brooklyn. By Southwest Airlines, yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. So many fathers, sons, and daughters enjoying this afternoon of baseball. We'll enjoy it a little bit more if the Rockies can get the offense going. 2-0 they trail as we go to the top of the 6th inning. Tyler Chatwood with 98 pitches still out there. Austin Slater is 0 for 2. Then Aaron Hill and Gorkys Hernandez 6, 7, and 8 for the Giants, and a curveball for strike 1. Again, Chatwood last inning walked in Art Span with 1 out. Panic lined out, but with 2 outs, Brandon Crawford hit an opposite field home run just inside the foul pole down that left field line.
Well, a few things are working in Tyler's favor. You had an extra day of rest with Monday being an off day. You've pitched over 100, 115 pitches this year. Your high is 112 or 114. And Buddy's giving him an opportunity to go out there and give him another inning for that bullpen to get some, not have to pick up so many outs.
Dodgers won earlier. They hung on against Cincinnati 8-7, so they've won 3 in a row, 9 of 11. Arizona has won 6 in a row, but they're down in the 8th inning 4-3 to Philadelphia.
They didn't have that run back.
They never got that run back, did Philly. The Rockies have won 4 in a row. Rockies are now 20-13 at home. 2-2 on Slater. Carlos Estevez started throwing between innings. He remains kind of in a situation where he'll throw a pitch and watch. And there's a strikeout to begin the inning. That's what you learn as a member of the bullpen. And it's something that guys who are starters that go down there have to learn. The tempo that you warm up. And, you know, Carlos has been down in the bullpen throughout his professional career. So this is kind of old hat for him. All right, I'll throw a pitch here and I'll watch.
And sometimes even those pitches aren't at 100% down in the bullpen. So he's gotten loose. Now it's just to keep the arm going. But it'll be 75% until you get that, you hear that phone ring again, because then you'll get that adrenaline surge.
Aaron Hill, ground out and a walk, and he's behind 0-2. Sometimes, haven't you found this, Huey, when you were playing or doing what you've done for so long now, watching games and broadcasting, that pitchers, when they know that the finish line is near, sometimes they pitch better.
They smell it. They know this is it. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to set up guys like I did maybe their first at bat. Now it's just almost like a relief pitcher when he comes into the game. I have to get 3 outs.
Trying to get 3 outs.
That's
yeah.
it.
Yeah, it's a
that's
great
the mindset.
analogy. Yeah, because he's been a little sharper this inning. He's been ahead in counts, 1-2. How'd you not swing at that? 2-2. That's pitch number 107.
Chris Russin has grabbed his glove and has joined Carlos out on the bullpen.
Line to left, and Desmond comes on and makes the catch.
Coca-Cola value packs are back for the 2017 season, including June 22nd against the Diamondbacks. 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 Cokes, and more for either $59 or $79, depending on seat location.
First pitch misses, ball 1. Gorky's Hernandez. (2-0), 3-0. Three and one. Still got the good velo. That fastball at 96. Season high in pitches. This is 114, and this will be all for the Giants in their half of the 6th. First 1-2-3 inning that was completely clean in the game for Chatwood. 2-0, middle of 6th, San Francisco. Back to Coors Field on Father's Day 2017. Tyler Chatwood matches a Rockies season high. He owned it, 114 pitches. He's getting congratulations. The Rockies do trail 2-0, but despite some command issues at times, 2 runs, 5 hits, and 6 innings. Pretty good stuff. Hey, it's time for our all copy products news and notes. And Ryan McMahon, has he gone off 15 ball games since moving up from Hartford to Albuquerque? 460, that's a good average. 825 slugging percentage. He had 5 hits the other day. And Brendan Rodgers finished the first half. And congratulations to Lancaster. They won the first half of the Cal League. Brendan Rodgers hitting .400 with 12 homers, 17 doubles.
And he had a 23-game hit streak.
Inside 2-0 on DJ. I said 17 doubles. I shorted him for 21 doubles for Brendan Rodgers. He may be on the move soon.
I would think so. I would think so.
Brendan Rodgers, Rockies' #1 pick, one of the top prospects in all of baseball. He can flat out rake. And it's 3-0 on DJ. First time Block has fallen behind somebody for 3-0 today. There's some exciting kids in the Rockies system. Ryan McMahon came into baseball as a corner infielder, third baseman, moved to first. He's been playing a lot of second also this year. First at Hartford, now at Albuquerque. I was talking to Zach Wilson, the Rockies' fine farm director, about him this morning, and he said athletically he has really done a very good job. That's a good start. A walk to DJ. But McMahon showing the ability to play second.
Well, and the hardest thing to learn when you move to second base from playing a corner is how to turn 2, because it's a blind turn. You have that runner coming right up on you, and so you have to make sure that you catch the ball, stay in there, and do all the things. That's the hardest thing that he'll learn.
You and I watched him during spring training. I know you were impressed with his spring, with his swing, Huey.
Yeah, and at times, just like any kid, can get a little long at times. But I notice he's really just looking at some box scores and watching some highlights, and he's hitting the ball the other way.
Yeah, about a third of the time. That's a good changeup. Nolan out front. Nolan a triple and a single.
Ty Block today, 14 for 21 on first pitch strikes.
So the Rockies down 2-0 as they bat in the bottom of the 6th against Block. He's allowed only 4 hits. Again, Nolan has half of them. And he's gone to the opposite field today.
And he's still going to have to do it in this at bat.
So much of the maturation of a young hitter, when you're going level to level as you once did, is learning what pitchers are trying to do to get you out and how you adjust.
Within an at bat.
This ball lined to center field, and it is going to go all the way to the wall. DJ will get a green light from Stu Cole. He will score easily on another Nolan Arenado double. Here come the Rockies.
Three-fourths of the way to a cycle now for Nolan.
Got the toughie out of the way for him, the triple. He's 9 for 18 against the Giants in the series.
Change up. He goes down and gets it on the Subaru Supermo, always burying that head, and hits another double. It's 27th of the season. And just like that, Rockies are just trailing by 1 and a runner in scoring position. 52 steaks now on this season. 52 ribbies.
Well, he's got 11 now against San Francisco. Each of the last 2 years, he drove in 24, which is ridiculous, against San Francisco. He's on his way to duplicating perhaps those numbers. 20 home runs, 72 career RBIs against the Giants. 1-0 on Reynolds. Mark, ever patient, takes outside. Now he's in the driver's seat, 2-0. Last 49 games against the Giants, Nolan's got 59 ribbies. See that approach though by Mark? He was trying to go to right field.
Look how far Brandon Belt is playing off the line. And look at this area right through there.
Change speeds again. It's 2-2. They're all team at bats, but now it really becomes a team at bat with 2 strikes.
Some more than others.
And Mark, check swing, foul ball. 2-2 it remains. And Desmond on deck. Time runs at second. Rockies finally break the ice against Ty Block, who had confounded them for 5 innings. Infield straight up, outfield straight up. This is popped up playable for Bell. So with 1 out, Nolan remains at second. He'll bring up Desmond. Desmond a ground ball to third, and he hit into a 6-4-3 double play. And the Rockies had 2 on and nobody out in the 4th.
Ian's gonna look inside with the fastball, because that's what they pitched to him the first 2 times, and it jammed him pretty good.
And they jammed him again. Now there's 2 outs. That'll bring up Cargo. Cargo line out to deep right and a strikeout on a breaking ball away.
It looks like it'll be Chris Russin for the Rockies. He's the only one up out in the bullpen.
At the top portion of the strike zone, 0-1, and not really. That was, you know, that's the pitch Cargo needs to stay off of, and it wasn't a strike.
Then it's called the strike, and you say, well, I recognized it, but it's still called a strike.
And now he's in a ditch, 0-2. He hasn't picked up that spin.
I think he's going to get another one.
Well, I mean, you'd be a fool not to if you're Buster Posey called that. He's thrown it twice, and Cargo's missed it by a foot each time.
Struck him out in the 4th with that pitch.
He went back to it, and it's on the ground to second. So the Rockies get a run, but they fail to take advantage of Nolan being at second with nobody out. 2-1 as we go to the 7th. Let's check our Kubota pitching performance as we go to the 7th inning. Ty Blach, he's still in there. He's allowed a run in 6 innings on 5 hits. Tyler Chatwood battled some command issues. He walked 4, but overall 6 innings, gives up just 2 runs on 5 hits. It's now a 2-1 ball game. We'll look at our Kubota pitching performance. And Ty Blach's going to lead it off, and he's going to face Chris Russin.
Chris looking to come back from the outing he had a few days ago where he gave up 3 hits in 1 inning and 2 earned runs. It was so unlike Chris, because a couple of the hits came against lefties. Span and Panic, they tripled, doubled, and RBI single by Hunter Pence. This guy has been a machine coming out of the bullpen on most nights for the Rockies.
Well, it sets up nicely to bring Russin into the ball game for Buddy Black. You have the pitcher, and then the first 3 guys in the order for the Giants all hit left-handed.
That's the way Buddy used him on Friday night.
2 strikes quickly.
Friday it was the 8th inning. Today it's the 7th.
And that's fouled off. Lefty's hitting .241 against Russin, which is surprising. It's actually a lot better than righties are hitting. Righties are hitting against Chris this year just .175. Block grounds out to LeMahieu, 1 gone, and that'll bring up Denard Span. Span walked 3 times against Tyler Chatwood. The last one was costly because with 2 outs, Crawford hit the opposite field home run. Instead of a solo shot, it became a 2-run shot. 2-1 Giants leading.
Well, 3 of the runs scored in this game today have come. 2 of the 3 runs, excuse me, have come after walks. Yeah, as you mentioned, Span, and then you also at last half inning had DJ walked and then came around to score.
It's a strike. 1-1. You keep waiting for the Rockies to figure out Ty Blach. The one guy who has is Nolan. He's barreled 3 balls today. There's 3 of the Rockies' 5 hits. The Rockies all year long, and in particular in this series, have been so good with runners in scoring position. They have 11 hits yesterday with 2 outs, and today they've had a couple of opportunities and they haven't been able to cash in. First and second, nobody out, did not score, and then last inning after the double, it's 2-1. Nolan's standing there with nobody out. And the thick part of the order up. 2 pop outs and a ground out.
Chance to get Tyler Chatwood off the hook.
And I think before it's said and done, they will.
Yes.
2 and 2 on Span. Got a big hand.
Bright orange. Not many of that in the ballpark today. See a lot of purple.
This is going to be a tough play for Story. Span can run, and it stays in play, fortunately. That's a nice break for the Rockies. So a base hit for Span. He's been on 4 times, and that'll bring up Panic.
Trevor did everything he could short of throwing Span out. Coming out of the left-hander's batter's box, gets a little closer step to first. In the glove on the Subaru Supermo. Strong throw coming all the way across. And very rarely, though, will you see when we see an infielder moving that way, especially from the left side, where then the throw will go on the outside portion of first base. Because most of the time, if you miss, you'll miss going back towards the runner, more back on the infield.
This is in the air to fairly deep left field. Desmond with a good read and a good route. 2 gone.
Get on-demand access to the rooftop with the Rooftop Ballpark Pass, $96 for 8 games, including concession credit. Choose the days and redeem your pass from your phone. Go to Rockies.com/rooftop for more information. It's a great day to be at the rooftop, the ballpark. Any day's a great day at the ballpark. But today, 82 degrees, slight breeze.
Brandon Crawford, a single, a fly ball to center, and that Oppo 2-run home run. Span will draw throw. He's stolen 2 bases today. Crawford's home run was his 6th this year. Last year he hit a dozen. 2 years ago he had a career best 21. He's improved vastly the last couple of years, left on left.
As I said, this year he's hitting .304 against lefties, coming into the game .231 against righties.
You mentioned earlier that Brandon has his family with him. You know, Rockies players, just like any other organization, their families occasionally will accompany separately the the player to given cities. In Denver, as we all know, is a really popular destination for visiting players coming to Coors Field. You see that family room packed most nights.
Yes, you do.
On the visitor side. Good pitch. 0-2. Rockies in the 7th. They'll have the bottom third of their order up. See if Span takes off. 0-2. Nope. And he went. Strike 3. That'll end the inning. Chris Russin does his thing. It is time to stretch, and on this Sunday, it is also time for a rendition of God Bless America. The Giants leading the Rockies 2-1, middle of 7.
Fans, the Colorado Rockies and Furniture Row are proud to host and honor those who sacrifice on behalf of us all. With us on the field today is Richard Salazar Sr. and his grandson, Anthony Salazar. Richard Salazar Sr. enlisted in the U.S. Army in 1964. He was deployed to Vietnam, where he served in combat with the 101st Airborne Division. Richard was awarded the Purple Heart and a Bronze Star for saving the life of a battalion executive officer. Corporal Anthony Salazar enlisted in the Marine Corps in 2011 and was deployed to Morocco. His honors include Good Conduct and National Defense Service medals. Corporal Salazar is currently serving as a motor transport chief. Joining them on the field today are Corporal Salazar's father, Scott Salazar, and brother, Aaron Yost. Furniture Row and Denver Mattress are proud to present each of these men with a $250 gift certificate in appreciation of their service. Fans, please give them a warm hero's welcome, and all our nation's brave servicemen and women and their families. We thank you for your service and sacrifice. Fans, please rise as we honor our great country with the performance of God Bless America. Performing God Bless America today, representing the United States Air Force Academy Band, is Staff Sergeant Kristen Kazanave. Please welcome Staff Sergeant Kazanave and join her by singing along to God Bless America.
Special happy Father's Day to everybody, especially Chad Bettis. He found out that he was going to go chemotherapy and had his daughter just in time.
We weren't, looking at just chemo. It was
you're being a dad.
Yeah, I was a dad now. We have a family, and it's like it felt like chemo was on the back burners, and it was like, oh, okay, when do I get to go home and go play with my daughter, Pretty
remarkable stuff for Chad, being able to become a father and then have that daughter while he was going through probably his toughest times. We also saw a great Instagram photo on photo day. Chad Bettis runs into a fellow fighter, and this is the perfect thing. The moment you realize you have something in common with a Major League Baseball player. I don't know how many words that one speaks, but it speaks a lot to me. Guys?
That is such a poignant photograph. This ball's crushed deep left, way back. Take a good look. You won't see it for long. Tie ball game. Number 10 for Story.
It was a rough 4 or 5 weeks to start the season for Trevor. But lately, it's been a lot of fun to watch. He's 10 home runs, as you mentioned, 28 RBIs. He's hitting 6 out of his last 7 games, over 400, 2 for 3 today, and boy, he does not miss this one.
Big time extension, 2-2 game now. Here's Murphy. Takes a breaking ball for a strike. Story with 8 hits against the Giants this year. 5 have gone over the fence.
And they've been big time home runs. Down 2-1, bottom of the 7th. Ty Block had been cruising. Got out of last inning without giving up another run. I just love after he hit it, he just dropped the bat, kind of looked in the dugout and started jogging.
We said this a bunch last year. He does not hit wall scrapers. Murphy takes outside, so Tyler Chatwood just spit the bit.
2 nights ago for Trevor, he hit the pinch hit home run.
He got one of those energy deals that we got the other day. They brought it up. What are those things called again? It's got a lot of peanut butter.
Peanut butter.
Those are good. I thought after you had yours, I thought your tempo picked up. I thought your energy picked up.
I had a lot more energy. I was kind of dragging a little bit. I thought it's second cup of coffee. No, I'm going to go with that power bar thing they had.
The clarity of your statements. 2-2. Inside, 3-2. Pat Valleca's on deck to pinch hit for Russin.
That's what you need to have. You hit home runs, eat one of those. They are tasty.
And this is in the air to right field. Versatile Gorkys Hernandez makes the catch. I'll tell you a quick story about Gorky. It's pretty funny. Managers always do this too. So Buster Posey, remember he twisted the ankle a few days ago?
Yes.
And they weren't sure if he was going to be able to go the next day, but Buster's their best player. They want to put him on the DL. They had only one catcher. That was the former Rocky Nick Hundley. And naturally, before the ball game, Bruce Bochy's asked, who's the backup today? And he said, it's Gorkys Hernandez, but don't tell him. He doesn't know that.
Keep it on the down low.
Valleca drives one high and deep left field. Get up, get out. Rockies lead it. Pinch hit ball. Patty barrels.
Back-to-back days for Patty that he's had a pinch hit. Yesterday with the single to drive in a run. This time he's driving himself in. 2 pinch hit home runs in this series for the Rockies. 3rd time this year they've had a pinch hit home run. That's all I can do is look at it, watch it.
Three-two Colorado. Rockies say the heck with building a run. We'll just hit a couple of bombs.
I shorted Pat a base yesterday. He had a double, not a single.
He had the only extra base hit yesterday. 13 singles and Valleca's pinch double.
And I apologize to him because I wrote it in my book as a single, just because that's what I was used to writing in yesterday. Just 1B, 1B, 1B.
Right? The whole game. Spilly, I don't know where you're sitting, but don't move.
I'm not moving. I'm in the dugout, kind of.
On the ground, a second, Blackman.
I want to bring something up for you.
Real quick, how loud were those 2 home runs?
Loud. Extremely loud. And before Bochy comes out here and makes a pitching change, Pat Barrels has really enjoyed your nickname, Drew. But Mark Reynolds has called him Patty Pine Tar because he says that's where he was hitting the ball of late. So now, after he came in, Patty Barrels looked at Reynolds and was pointing at him, showing him where the barrel was. So good job with the name description, the moniker.
Hey,
it's going to stick.
Spill, you got to love teammates, right?
Got to love teammates to keep you grounded.
That is funny. Patty Pine Tar. That is classic. Well, the hometown kid threw the heck out of the baseball, but he marches off, trailing now 3-2. Patty Barrels, Patty Valleca with a home run off the bench. Check this out. Pat Valleca also homered on Mother's Day, Casey informs us. He wins Kid of the Year. You bet he does. Home run number 5. Not that we didn't trust you, Casey, but we did verify that. And Patty hit a home run on Mom's Day, hit a home run on Dad's Day. Spoke to his brother, Nick, after getting drafted earlier in the week. He actually hit 2 on Mother's Day.
That's 5 home runs and 73 at-bats.
It means, you know what, when he goes home, he could sleep in his own bedroom. Not going to be kicked to the porch.
No.
So George Contos takes over. 2 outs, 2 runs in. A home run by Story tied it. The pinch homer by Valleca, and the Rockies are up 3-2. LeMahieu 0 for 2 and a walk. He scored in the 6th inning on a double by Nolan.
George Contos pitched on Friday night. That was the game the Rockies walked off the Giants. 1 inning, couple strikeouts, 16 pitches. Very high strikeout to walk ratio, and also strikeout per inning pitched. 34 and just 31 2/3 innings.
And that's up the middle, a base hit. LeMahieu, who's been wearing out the Giants himself, was He's had 2 4-hit games in this series.
It's kind of like, okay, the offense woke up. But Nolan was awake from his first at bat to this at bat. Leads off with a triple to right field. Follows it up with a little single to right, and then a double to drive in DJ in the 6th inning. And now we just need a 3rd home run this inning.
Would that be something?
He was swinging for it.
0-1. Nolan 2 for 8 lifetime against Contos. Two strikes. Rockies trying to move to 20 games above 500. They're a season best 19 above 500 right now. Pitch out. Is it me, Huey, or you don't see as many pitch outs now because pitchers do a better job varying their times to the plate and slide stepping?
They've learned that, and they're teaching it down in the minor leagues to do that. That's why stolen bases are so hard. It used to be everybody was 1-3, 1-4. They didn't worry about it. But this is a running count. I don't know if I would do it with Nolan up, though. Maybe somebody else, it would be a running count, and especially after throwing a pitch out. But I don't want to take the bat out of his hand.
Agree. Well, DJ takes off, and it doesn't matter as Nolan strikes out in the inning. Trevor Story led off with a bob 20 rows up to left to tie it. And then 2 batters later, Pat Valleca off the bench to give the Rockies a 3-2 lead as we go to the 8th. Sports is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Say yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. By the Tavern Downtown. Visit Tavern Downtown after Rockies home games and get 2-for-1 draft beers with your same-day ticket. And by the Wyoming Office of Tourism. Wyoming is full of adventure. It's time to find out if you are too. That's why. TravelWyoming.com. It is picturesque Sloan's Lake on the north side. Rockies have taken a 3-2 lead. The bullpen is thin. A lot of work the last few days. And up a run, Buster Posey steps up. It'll be Jordan Lyles who'll be asked to protect this lead in the 8th. And closing today, in all likelihood, would be Jake McGee. But this is a critical situation for Jordan Lyles, who starts out with a cutter and he misses ball one. Jordan has had a rough ride this year.
On his last outing against the Pirates, gave up the home run with 2 outs to Andrew McCutchen.
Different. Takes a strike, 1-1.
Yeah, definitely a different role for Jordan. Both times in the Subaru strike zone, just staying away from Buster, who's 3 for 11 and a home run in his career against Jordan.
And a .386 lifetime hitter at Coors Field. Jordan has the stuff to pitch late in games and protect leads. That's never been the question. It always seems to be a misplaced pitch.
One pitch, it seems like, where the other day it was a hanging slider to McCutchen that he hit out. But as you mentioned, Greg Holland's been used a lot. Adam Ottavino's been used a lot. Scott Oburn. You had Carlos up earlier. Tough spot to try to bring him back. But
there's the stuff.
There's the stuff.
That's a great pitch. And you may be wondering, Greg Holland, why would he be down? He didn't pitch yesterday. Buddy really wants to stay away from him, give him 2 full days off, because he had thrown a lot this week. And the velo in his last outing, in which he got the save, but he did give up a run, was down. So if he could stay away from him today, that's 3 full days off with the day off tomorrow.
Yeah, and then the night game on Tuesday, so it's actually like 3.5 days that he would be off.
Now Brandon Belt, and that's a strike. Jordan was, I thought, very, very honest the other day in talking to the media. It's one thing to be honest in self-evaluation, but to go public with it. He said after his last rough outing, this ball's hit the center field pretty well. It's carrying, and the leaping catch made out there by Blackman. Charlie saves extra bases. 2 outs.
Got a good break on this ball, and these are hard ones because it's pretty much right over your head. So you got to turn, and you hope that it's not slicing or cutting on you. Looks it all the way in the Subaru Super Mode, times his leap, knows that he has a couple steps before he runs into the wall.
So now 2 outs and Austin Slater. But Jordan Lyles said, you know, I'm tired of this. He said, I have to be better. I don't want to be the weak link.
When everybody else is doing what they're doing, your club's winning, you haven't carried your weight. It's a bad feeling.
Buddy instills confidence. We've said it so many times. He instills confidence in guys of many great attributes for Buddy Black. That's near the top of the list. And he's told Jordan Lyles, hey, you know, man down, so to speak, go get him. We got a 1-run lead in the 8th. It's your game. Let's go.
And for Jordan, it's an opportunity. That's the way you have to look at it. This is an opportunity. I've been pitching in a lot of games that are lopsided one way or the other. But this is a tight ball game. You got Buster Posey, your first at bat, Brandon Belt.
Yeah,
you're in the teeth of the Giants.
Yeah, you're not getting the soft side of the lineup. That's a good looking slider, just missed. 2-1 on Austin Slater, who, along with Buster Posey, have been the 2 toughest outs for the Giants in this series. Three and 1. Game 4 of this series. 2 high-scoring affairs. Yesterday, a pitcher's duel primarily. And this is popped up and playable. And Jordan Lyles does a great job. Well done, Jordan Lyles. Protects that 1-run lead. A 1-2-3-8 through the thick part of that Giant lineup. 3-2 Colorado. baseball break brought to you by T-Mobile. Arizona in a big series coming to town Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday afternoon. The Diamondbacks have taken a 5-4 lead in the 10th against Philadelphia on the road. And they're right there with the Dodgers, a game behind the Rockies. Beginning play today, the Dodgers have already won 8-7 in Cincinnati. They're scoring a lot of runs. Paul Goldschmidt having another outstanding year. And the Rockies will see Zach Greinke, who's having a terrific year on Tuesday. Here is Mark Reynolds against George Cantos in the 8th. And that's in there for a strike. Reynolds 1 for 2 and a walk. Reynolds, Desmond, Cargo trying to produce some insurance for Jake McGee. Crowd of 48,341. It is the 6th sellout of the year.
Sellouts in back-to-back days.
Sellouts in back-to-back days.
They knew coming into this series, the Rockies did, that it's going to be a big homestand crowd-wise, and they were right.
Well, that backed up and it was called a strike. Mark Reynolds can't believe it, but it's actually in the Subaru strike zone.
It was just caught so ugly by Buster Posey. Just watch Buster set away.
Yeah, that kind of action from a catcher does not generally indicate strike, but it was just a bad miss by
And then for Mark, he's looking back and he sees where the glove was, so you understand his frustration.
1-0 on Desmond, who's 0 for 3. A big happy Father's Day to all of you out there. Happy Father's Day to my dad. 1-0 inside, 2-0.
Happy Father's Day to my father-in-law and my son-in-law. Have a little barbecue after the game with both of them.
Who's cooking?
I'll probably cook today. I didn't cook yesterday.
And this is popped up. Bell. Two outs. Who wants tacos? Fans follow @RootSports_RM on Twitter to receive alerts for the Rockies taco special. And the Rockies score 7 runs or more. 2 outs. And Cargo will come up. And Cargo against George Cantos has enjoyed a great deal of success. He owns a couple home runs against Cantos. 3 for 6 lifetime. 3 on the right side.
He's 3 on the right side, but Panic is not playing short rover right field. He's still staying on the grass dirt area. There's Panic. The shift. A lot of times you'll see guys like way back over here.
Beat him up high with a fastball, and it's another 0-2 count on Cargo. He's 0 for 3, a line out, a strikeout, and a ground ball to second. McGee in the 9th. We'll see Hill, Hernandez, and the pitcher's spot. 7, 8, 9 for San Francisco. Difference in this game, a Pat Valaika pinch hit home run, his first career pinch hit home run, 3rd pinch hit home run of 2017 for the Rockies. 2 hitters earlier, the game was tied up on a solo home run by Trevor Story. Now the count levels 2-2. Chris Russin, the pitcher of record for the Rockies. Ty Block, who pitched well, is on the losing side. He went 6 2/3. The Regis High product, 3 runs, 7 hits, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. Cargo rips it to right field, and even had Panic been in the rover spot, he wouldn't have gotten to that. So Cargo with a base hit with 2 outs, and here comes Story again.
Well, we had fireworks earlier in this game off the bat at Trevor. Well, the suites are still available for the July 3rd, July 4th fireworks games. All suite clients get to enjoy the fireworks show from the field. Call 303 Rockies to check availability today. But you want to do it soon, because you know how those fireworks are. Some of the best in the business. The way this club's playing, you want to buy your tickets early.
You know, if you move to Denver, a whole lot of folks have moved to Denver over the last 10-15 years, a million plus. I guarantee you neighbors are telling us, hey, one of the things you have to do on the to-do list in the summer is you got to go see the Rockies play on a fireworks night. Take the family. Story swings and misses. Trevor's 2 for 3. In the series, he is 5 for 12.
That home run that he hit was 438 feet estimated. Pat's was 394.
Story has been much better, as we talked about, since coming off the DL. He's hitting 18 of 24.
Now has his average. I know it's still kind of low, but 228 from where he was in the 140s.
He's not a 228 hitter, nor is Cargo a 218 hitter. That bodes well for the rest of the season for those two. This is foul. Good attempt by foul ball. Good attempt by Belt trying to keep it fair. It had a lot of English on it.
Well, that was called by Adrian Johnson because Eric Cooper was blocked behind the first baseman Belt. Cooper's trying to get an angle on it. Can't really tell. He's hoping he gets some help. And because it didn't get to first base yet, that is the home plate umpire's call. Treverson's coming off the DL, 293.
Two strikes on Story. San Francisco convinced that Cargo will go. It is a place a lot of times with 2 outs you'll see a runner go. As we said, though, over the last couple of years with some of the injuries Cargo's had to endure with the knee especially, he does not look to run very frequently anymore. Not going. 1 and 2.
Base stealing takes a lot out of your legs, and then roaming this outfield night after night. But if that ball's in the gap, he can still pick him up and put him down.
Foul tip, and it's held by Posey. So we will go to the 9th inning. The Rockies 3 and the Giants 2. Jake McGee will look for the save when we come back.
take a late lead at 3-2 over the Giants. They're looking for a 4-game sweep. It'd be the first time the Rocks would do that against their NL West rivals. Jenny Kavnar with Corey Sullivan. We're getting ready for the Toyota postgame show. And when you talk about Father's Day, you talk about wanting to give your dad a good gift.
Right.
A home run's a pretty good gift. And Pat Baleka, he's very even, which I love, Corey.
Yeah.
He gave 2 to Mom for Mother's Day, 1 to Dad for Father's Day.
Those are pretty good gifts. I also like Nolan's Day. You know, you got 3 hits, you're 1 homer short of the cycle, but Trevor Story also hit a homer. I think they're all really good nominees for Son of the Year, but I mean, I got to lean to Baleka. I do. 3 homers on 2 special days.
I think Baleka's gonna run away with that one. Guys, we'll send it back to you, and we'll see you right after the game.
Sounds like a great plan. Great way to finish this Father's Day, at least the afternoon portion. 3-2 Colorado. Nolan's had a big day, and it'll be on Jake McGee's broad shoulders right now. Aaron Hill, Gorkys Hernandez, and then a pinch hitter. Those are the 3 expected for San Francisco. And Jake McGee, he's been busy. On Wednesday, he threw 20 pitches. Thursday, he threw 13. Off Friday. Yesterday, he threw 14 pitches. 47 pitches, working 3 of the last 4 days, but he gave a thumbs up to the Rockies staff today, saying he's ready to go and handle the 9th inning.
Well, he knew what this meant, and trying to sweep the Giants in a 4-game set. Jake has 1 save on the season. That was April 7th at LA. He has 42 in his career.
And that fastball at 94, strike 1 on Aaron Hill. Jake has had a tremendous year. That knee is healthy.
Such a valuable piece in the bullpen for Bud.
He's been one of the premier setup men in all of baseball this year.
The Rockies as a team for their bullpen, where they are in holds, where they are in saves, inherited all of that. Top 1 or 2 in all of baseball.
Two-strike count on Hill. Reach back, 96, just missed 1 and 2. Jake did give up a run on Thursday. That snapped a 14-inning scoreless stretch. That was the opposite field home run that Brandon Crawford hit. This is hard on the ground, and Nolan, good pickup. With time, he throws out Hill, 1 done in the 9th. You know, that's the play very similar to the error that Nolan made yesterday after the game. He said, you know, I just got lazy, I didn't bend enough. And you know, the next ball found him, and he turned it into a 5-4-3 double play.
I think he can be forgiven. I mean, to say I didn't bend enough in game 71.
He went 71 straight to start the year without an error. You kidding me?
Hunter Pence is on the on-deck circle for the Giants. Not sure if it's going to be Pence or Kelby Tomlinson.
Yeah, Eduardo Nunez, they're trying to stay away from for another day. He had the tightness of his hamstring, legging out an infield hit on Thursday. He came out of the ball game, has not played since. They hope to get him back tomorrow. 1-0 on Hernandez, 2-0 on Gorkys. It is a final now in Philadelphia. The Diamondbacks come from behind. They went 5-4. They've won 7 in a row, 3-0.
Those have been on the road for Arizona. Detroit, now Philly.
And a 4-pitch walk.
8th place hitter.
The game ended yesterday on a double play. Hunter Pence pinch hitting. Hunter's thrown out some hits in this series, but a lot of them have front leg fooled and Found a hole with a ball on the ground.
So hit a couple balls right at shortstop that weren't hit hard enough to turn. In his career, a small sample size, but 0 for 2 against Jake.
Still a scary guy because he is really strong. Fly ball, deep left field. It is gone.
Just like we were saying, dangerous guy. Then you walk the guy in front of him.
And now the Rockies trail 4-3. And for Pence, it's an easier at bat, as tough as McGee is, because he struggles on off-speed stuff. But you don't get a lot of off-speed stuff with Jake McGee.
Second pinch hit home run for the Giants this year. First career pinch hit home run for Hunter Pence. And no doubt, you see the Giants dugout. Jake knows it.
The walk in front, as you pointed out, that's the real killer, especially a guy that's hitting 214 coming in. You don't ever want to put anybody on. This is down the left field line near the stands. Desmond will run out of room. And now you got to flip over to the bottom of the 9th inning, and the Rockies will have Murphy, then a pinch hitter, and then Blackman.
And it'll be the Golden High product, Mark Melanson.
Hunter Pence, who hadn't hit a home run since May 8th, span of 64 at bats. 2 outs. Giants have lost 5 straight. Now they have a 4-3 lead in the 9th. Panic. Well, they just set the stage for the Rockies' second walk-off win of the year, right?
That's right. Did it on Friday. Thursday.
This is going to die in front of Desmond. Panic reaches. Brandon Crawford, who gave up the 3-run home run to McGee, or who hit the 3-run home run, I should say. I don't think Brandon was pitching 3 days ago.
Brandon, you look like a cool boy. You're literally incredible.
Carlos Estevez back up in the Rockies bullpen. Trying to get loose. If Crawford gets on, he'll be in for Posey. So if that doesn't happen, you get Brandon here. Try to win it in the 9th.
They had him picked off and a high throw from Reynolds. It'll go as a stolen base.
Third stolen base today for the Giants. Also the third stolen base of the season for Panic. Mark got way underneath that, dropped the elbow down and sailed it to left field.
Now it's really incumbent on Jake McGee to get Brandon Crawford. 2 for 4 today. And that's going to bring home another run. That'll be a double for Crawford. And that is a costly stolen base. They're actually not going to call it a stolen base. They're going to give an error to Reynolds.
Really? Either way, he scores. 13th double this season. You can see that Jake's running on fumes too. Double switch.
Now we said at the top of the broadcast, because of all of the work by the bullpen the last few days, Holland would not be available. And Buddy really wanted to get him 72 hours off. And Jake McGee raised his hand. He said, I can still go, even though he had worked 3 out of 4 days. And fatigue maybe playing a factor. He's given up 3 here in the 9th. 5-3 Giants. Giants, the Rockies had an out, nobody on base, but a walk, a home run, another base hit, and a double, and all of a sudden the Rockies trail 5-3. Raimel Tapia in the double switches in right field. He'll bat second in the bottom of the 9th inning. Carlos Estevez will be asked to get the final out of this top of the 9th. It'll be Buster Posey with Crawford at second base.
4th time this year for Estevez that he's been on the roster. Scoreless in 11 of the 16 appearances overall.
Posey a double, also hit by a pitch. 1 for 3. Slider, ball 1. A strike. Rockies when leading after 8 innings. Two and 1. Both teams with 9 hits.
Step off. I'm saying step off because Brandon Crawford about at least a third of the way to third base.
Slider, and it's 2-2. Two got it. Work to do in the bottom of the ninth for the Rockies. 3 runs for the Giants. They lead 5-3. Hunter Pence, 2-run pinch hit home run.
Tapia will hit second in this inning. Let's flash back to Thursday. Walk-off time. Raimel Tapia with the big single to give the Rockies their first walk-off of the season. We've had a lot of magic this week at Lodo. I think it's time. Maybe another heartbreak. The guys down here in the locker are talking about, let's break their hearts, leave them on the field. A lot of chiming going on down here. We're gonna love to hear your talk up there, guys.
All right, Spilly. Tom Murphy scheduled, but it'll be Tony Walters pinch hitting. Mark Melancon, the Golden High product, has not been used much because the Giants haven't had many leads to protect. In fact, he has not pitched in 9 days, and he's just 10 out of 13 in save opportunities. So he's been uneven, and the opposition hitting close to 300 against him.
And he's appeared in just 4 of the Giants' last 23 games. So how sharp is he going to be? I think that's the one thing you have to look at today as he comes into this ball game. And we know with Melancon that it's a cut fastball, which he really likes to throw. 93 miles an hour, followed up with the changeup and a curveball. But it's really the cut fastball that he tries to rely on mainly.
So Buddy's going to go with Walters, who has been swinging the bat exceptionally well. Something to keep in mind, righties. I think with the cutter that he would be struggling or do well against righties, Melancon. But Melancon has allowed righties to hit 371 this year.
You know what they say when cutters aren't good? That they're barrel finders, and that's what it does to a right-hander. It goes to his barrel.
Tony played yesterday, 2 for 4, 2 more RBIs. Rockies need base runners, down a pair in the bottom of the 9th. And ball 1.
How many And the tough thing for a closer, too, when he hasn't been used a lot, is how much work to get in, not knowing if you're going to get in the game that night. And so for Mark, he's probably had enough side session, but it's not the same adrenaline rush. Your control is not the same. That's why how many times do you hear relievers, especially closers, say, well, I need to be in a game every 3 or 4 days, no matter what. Other guys will say, no, I can sit. But 9 days is a long time to sit.
You make a great point. It's not like you can go, okay, I'm going to get working, because you may be really working later that ball game. That's a strike, 2-1. Melanson is more of a contact closer. I mean, he gets strikeouts, don't get me wrong, but he was one of the 3 closers that signed for large contracts in the offseason. Kenley Jansen naturally stayed with the Dodgers, where he's been brilliant again. Chapman back to the Yankees. And it's 3-1. Great choice by Buddy, and it's not a knock on Tommy Murphy. Tommy hasn't seen a lot of big league pitching, but Tony will force you to throw strikes.
A little smaller strike zone. Can hit with two strikes if it gets to that point.
And a ground ball sharply hit. Panic with the backhand, and that is 1 out. Good play by Joe Panic.
Yeah, real good play by Panic. Won a Gold Glove last year for San Francisco. Had to slide to make that play on his backhand. Tony hit it on the screws. Thought for a moment it might be up the middle, and the Panic calmly gets up afterwards and throws him out.
So Raimel Tapia, who's 10 for his last 18. Last 4 starts, he's produced multi-hit games in all 4 starts. Trying to get on for Blackman, and that first pitch misses. Probably out of the strike zone. 1-1. Way out of the strike zone.
Yeah.
Didn't understand that approach right there.
No, and that's where you have to. Remember we were talking earlier about within an at-bat what you have to do. I mean, he has to know that, hey, I got to get on base and I got to make him throw me a strike.
Tried to hit a 3-run home run with nobody on. So Raimel will have to get into battle mode here. Rockies trying to extend their 4-game winning streak. They won 7 straight, then had the little 3-game slide. Now they have won 4 in a row, but they're down 5-3. 1 out in the 9th. Blackman on deck.
He fouled that off and then went off his leg.
You know what? That was like a cricket player there.
On the side. Hard to do.
Shallow center, it'll drop. And that will bring the tying run to the plate in Blackman. So Tapia continues to swing a hot bat.
Been 0 for 4 as a pinch hitter, now 1 for 5. We saw a swing like this the other night where he dumps it into center field on a low pitch. off the end of the bat. That's what you want. The crowd's still in it. As Spilly was mentioning, the guys down in the dugout, they were still. That's the thing about this club. You never feel, they played the 27 outs. You don't feel like you're ever out of a ball game.
Charlie is 0 for 5 against Melanson. 1 out, 1 on. 2-run deficit. Blackman a rare 0 for 4.
You know, Mark's been sitting here for 3.5 days, seeing all the hits and runs, and every time it feels like they're going to go out there, Rockies answer.
There's no way anybody in a Giant uniform, and particularly their manager, Bruce Bochy, is comfortable.
Giants outfielders have moved back. They're in no doubles depth. There's a lot of room in front of them.
Strike on Charlie. 0-1.
Longest time has given the signs to the catcher. What he wants to do is throw over, slide steps, etc.
Charlie did a good job waiting on that. Saw that. Slider, it's 0-2.
10-mile-an-hour difference between the two pitches. Like in the rally caps.
Something kids learn from Dad, I'm sure, early on.
Yes, they do.
Mayhew on deck. Arenado after DJ. Tapia can really run at first. That second run that the Giants produced was huge.
Because of the air, it was an unearned run. Matter, it's still a run.
1-2. That's high. 2-2. That's just the third error on Reynolds all year. The game started by Regis High School's Todd Block for the Giants. And now they're hoping Golden High School's Mark Melanson can close it out. And the Rockies are hoping the exact opposite.
Good job by Charlie fighting that pitch off.
Because of the outfield depth and what you pointed out, so much room at Coors Field in front of the outfielders. I mean, Gorkys Hernandez is closer to Darren Holmes than he is Mark Melanson, or even, quite frankly, the second baseman Joe Panic. He's almost in the Rockies bullpen.
And that's why they play the no doubles up by 2, but the tying runs to the plate.
Charlie loops one to center. This one's going to drop also. Exactly what we were talking about. First and third. That should have been a routine fly ball. Span couldn't get there, and the Rockies have 2 on, and the winning run coming to the plate in LeMahieu.
Earlier in this game, 8th inning on down, it would have been an out. But with the no doubles depth and how deep they're playing, a lot of green out there. Tapia goes to third.
I think Charlie, just watching him out of the box, thought it was an out.
Right, because typically it is. Just notice how deep they are and how much room there is. And Span didn't want to try to dive for that, because if he dives, then the run scores and Charlie would go up to second, possibly third. So he didn't do it.
So DJ swinging the bat as well as anybody for the Rockies in this series. 1 for 3 and a walk today. We'll try to move the train along. And the Rockies, an uncharacteristic 0 for 7 today with runners in scoring position. They are by far the best in baseball. And a called strike. Question, it was right there in the Subaru strike zone. The crowd reacting to the jackknife movement of LeMahieu, but
DJ jackknife because he's thinking cutter away. I need to get something away from me where I can hit it the other way. I don't want to take a chance and trying to pull something, roll over into a double play.
He's got to get the ball in the air at the very least. 0-1 and now 0-2. So Melanson pounding, at least on the first 2 deliveries, pounding DJ in.
One was down, the first one. The second one was up.
2 Gold Glovers up the middle are set for 2, which does give a nice size opening in that 3.5 hole where DJ produces so many hits. Do you go here if you're Charlie?
I don't think so.
Nope. And a ground ball toward that hole on through, base hit. Blackmon's going to go first to third. Safe there. DJ comes through. 5-4. Tying run with 1 out, 90 feet away.
This is playing out just like we described it. First it was a no doubles. You get the blue pit. Then you say there's a big hole between first and second, that 3.5 hole. What does DJ do? Hits it right there.
With a 5 hopper. But again, because of the alignment, it sneaks through.
And Charlie hustling the whole way. Beats the throw into third base. This is bang bang third. 36 ribbies for DJ on an 0-2 pitch.
And you have the absolute right guy at the plate in Nolan Arenado.
And the Rockies 1 for 8 now with runners in scoring position. And Nolan's day started off great and has a chance to end great. It's a triple. A single and a double to left field for an RBI.
And again, now we talk defensive alignment for the 3rd straight hitter. Because of that runner at third being the tying run, it sucks the outfielders in a little bit. Nolan's a power guy.
Gapper, yeah, I know where you're going with that. DJ can run when he's underway, so plus the infield too. They're playing a little bit more shallow up the middle. They're playing double play depth, so that ball can sneak by. Your range isn't as great.
And any kind of dirt ball, you have an aggressive, fast guy at third in Blackmon. Here we go. High fly ball, deep left field. Way back. Oh, Rockies winner! How do you like that? By the way, that's a cycle. He just went cargo. Walk-off cycle. How do you like these 2017 Rockies?
Love them. Love them.
He's bleeding a little bit, but he'll be all right. Last time he got cut, he did pretty well also.
I got goosebumps.
Remarkable.
What do we say going into this inning? This club never quits. I said his day started off great. It has a chance to end great.
Didn't waste a lot of time on our Jimmy John's delivery of the game. First pitch from Martin Melanson. See you later. Happy Father's Day.
Wow.
Coming to a theater near you. The Summer of the Rockies 2017, and it's just getting going. Spilling with the man of the moment.
Nolan, what are you feeling right now? Cycle, walk off, you just screamed at the crowd. Listen to the crowd right now.
Yeah. Man, it's a dream come true, man. I'm so thankful. I thank God. My head hurts a little bit. I hate it when we talk about it. But I love these fans, man. This is what it's all about. We keep fighting, we don't quit. And that's why we won today.
Tell me about that last at bat. You're going for the cycle. I know it's not in your mind, but when it went out, what were you feeling?
Oh my God, I just thank God, man. I didn't know what to think, but my whole goal was to get the ball to the outfield. We had a chance to tie the game, but thank God the ball went out, man. But I'm just so thankful we won.
How about these fans the last couple of days, over 48,000 every single night?
The best, man. They're the best.
Let's go!
Let's go. No, these fans are the best. We're winning ball games. They're getting loud, man. It's fun, man. It's fun to be in Denver right now, that's for sure.
All right, go dry off. Happy Father's Day.
Guys, back to you.
All right, Spilly. Wow, wow, wow. Unbelievable. And it's so awesome to hear the crowds, the enthusiasm. I'm speechless. I'm like you, man. I had goosebumps.
When he hit that, I got goosebumps because it's such an emotional moment. You think, oh man, we just kicked one. We had been undefeated when we had been leading after 8 innings. Yeah, but no, this club never gives up. And then for the way some of the kids came through today too. You had Vallejo who hit a pinch hit home run. You had Tapia to start this whole inning. Let's not forget about that.
Behind in the count.
Yeah.
With one out.
He gets one, and then the big boys come through.
Special team, special moment. This week, for the first time all year, 2 blown saves in the 9th inning. Rockies come from behind, their first 2 walk-off wins. And Nolan, like Cargo did a few years back against Marshall and the Cubs, a cycle to win it with a home run. It's the first 4-game sweep ever of the Giants for the Colorado Rockies, the 8th Rocky cycle ever. Yep, get all those brooms out. The Rockies will enjoy tomorrow, a day off, but there's plenty to do out in center field. There's a big crowd gathering right now for Jenny and Sully. Jenny, it's all yours.
Plenty to do, but first we got to clean up the desk. Just got to clean it up. What about that sweep? What about the fans? And what about Nolan Arenado? Of course he's the hero, and he thanks Denver, Colorado for bringing him this Father's Day victory. A sweep of the Giants. We'll be right back with the Toyota Postgame Show.